Hey folks, happy Monday! Another week started, and here I'm back again in my studio in New Jersey. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a busy weekend driving all the way back from Texas through Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, Virginia, and here I am again in the lovely state of my home state of New Jersey. Good news, Hazel is back today as well. So let's get started. I keep a little eye here. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the chat. If you don't want to miss an episode, I'm gonna be more regular online again. Please leave a little follow here or a little like. Let's get started. What's the news on the Quail Farm? Hazel will come in a minute too. Right now we're still very busy in hatching season, but the news section, I get to it in a few minutes. Just for the new viewers, I wanna introduce a little bit what we do here at Undique or Undique. There's two ways to pronounce it. There's also two ways to say two, right? You got it. Yes, I'm European. But let's get started. Yes, we have lovely quail eggs here at Undique, and fresh quail eggs are delicious. And Hazel is lucky. This time, me too, because I broke these eggs actually early on, not live on the show. I know you guys are watching for that, but Hazel is lucky because each time I break an egg, it's an Hazel egg, because obviously I can't ship it out to you nice folks. So let's talk a little bit about fresh quail eggs. The ones you might find or might not find in the store. Most of the time the stores don't carry them, and if they do, then they're usually from Canada. There's only a few bigger quail operations in the US, and hey guys, so they're hard to find, those little gems. That's why it's awesome that we deliver them to your doorstep. And if you order them now, today was a postal holiday, we ship them out tomorrow, and they arrive in a couple of days. They are securely packaged. We shipped thousands of orders this year so far, and only in 1% of the cases we get a little crack like on this salad and egg. Can you even see it? Oh yeah, there's a little dent because I was clumsy today when I was loading up the incubator. I have some pictures on that later as well. So those fresh quail eggs, they are full with vitamins, minerals. For example, vitamin B12 is in there. 10% of the daily recommended value for humans, for us, is in one single egg. So basically, if you order a dozen or 2 dozen of eggs, if you have a couple of eggs each morning for breakfast, you get a lot of vitamin B12. But we also have in there vitamin D. There is zinc in there. There's antioxidants in there, which is great for the skin. I'm not using a filter here. That's me. So it helps me with my skin. Actually, I used to have skin problems. Now it's much less since I take quail eggs as a daily breakfast. But I guess everybody reacts differently, and I don't want to make any medical claims here, but look it up. There has been studies by universities in regards to the nutritional value of the quail eggs. Now, I missed Hazel a lot throughout my travels, so we have quail eggs also for pets. So look around in our store, but don't wait any longer. Let's give Hazel a little appetizer before dinner time, right? Okay, Hazel, wanna come over here? Hazel, no sleepy time. It's worky time again. Yeah, Daddy is back. Come here, Hazel. Want an egg? Yum yum. She's on her way. Oh, Boo Boo, come here. Look what we got here, fresh quail egg. Yeah. As you can tell, yeah. It's a precious commodity for Hazel, so she takes it and disappears with it. Now, she's a good girl. She never leaves mess at the floor. She cracks it open, usually eats it with the shell, and yeah, look at her. She's doing great. She's 3 years old. When we do the regular vet checkup, the vet tells us, wow, her teeth are great. If we brush them every day, she asks. I said, no. We have some other little tricks here. Right, Hazel? Right? We have great tricks. How did you like that? Was it yummy? Want to sit? You're a good girl. We don't even see your pretty face. Let me adjust the camera here. Whoop. There is Hazel Dazel. Yes, people want to see you. Yeah. I missed you so much. Oh, my darling. Mwah. She's such a good girl. Now, let's see what else we have. We get soon to the pet treats, so let me check first the other boxes here. If you want to present your quail eggs in style, yeah, Hazel sees I broke a few others today. But I don't want to overfeed you. This is for breakfast tomorrow. But I show the people. Here we go. Yeah. An egg holder. I looked everywhere and I couldn't find them, so I decided to make them. The material comes from the US. I make them here in the US. I designed it, and here you go. Your little breakfast egg holder if you like soft-boiled quail eggs. Nice little thing. You might need a little spoon for that. But hey, tiny cooking is a trend, and if you want to surprise your family on the next weekend with some tiny cooked quail eggs, you only cook them for about 2 minutes, then they are soft. You can hard-boil them and pickle them and all that good stuff. Right, Hazel? You like some hard-boiled eggs too. Yes. But that's a great option, and you can present them nicely. Some people collect quail eggs because they look so spacey. Oh, I had early on a cool egg there. I'm gonna bring it to the next show. I'm gonna hollow it out and bring it to the next show. So what else we do on the Quail Farm? What products we got, right? Obviously, right now we're in full swing of hatching season, so we provide not just fresh eggs, but also hatching eggs. If you decide to have your own quail at home instead of backyard chicken, which are sometimes loud with the rooster and all that. Quail roosters are really gentle, not that loud. They only get about to that size. It's well, the jumbo a little more, like the size of my hand, right? But Georgia Giant get also big. But we also have the button. I'll show you that in a second. But quail get typically around that size, right? So it's manageable. You can keep them in a garage. You can keep them in an aviary outside, in a quail tractor. They can fly, so they need to be somehow protected, of course, from predators and the wind and rain. But also, you know, they're otherwise easy to keep, and there is great cage systems out there and all that good stuff. And it's a great hobby to have. I started as a hobby before I made it to my job. We got the Red Range, Tennessee Red Range quail. Yes, I've been to Tennessee. I've seen some lovely quail down there as well. So we got quail are native to pretty much any region, right? There's the California quail, Georgia Giant quail, and so on and so on. But we have here the common quail, or people call it Japanese quail as well. And there's so many other variations. Tomorrow I'm gonna put also some button quail eggs into the incubator. They come about in around that size compared to a normal quail egg. That's about the standard size quail egg. So they're really tinier, the button, but they're awesome. The birds, they can fly, I tell you that. When we moved some birds in Texas from the old farm location to the new farm location, those buttons, they're the smallest birds, but they gave us the hardest time when we were moving them. But I can report no button quail got injured during the move, which was great. So yeah, Undique is a network of quail farms, right? Currently we are 14 farms in 10 different states. So those fresh or hatching quail eggs come to you from the farm closest to you or where we have availability. For the button quail, sometimes when you spook them, they stop laying eggs. But the tiny eggs they lay, they are pretty popular with people who got reptiles at home. I have a snake at home, and I just realized Jackson, that's his name, was never on the show, so maybe next week I'm gonna introduce Jackson to you guys, and yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about snakes. And part of their diet are bird eggs. That's what they find in nature. And so if you have a snake at home and you want to treat them to something special, the button quail egg are really tiny. So if it's a smaller snake, perfect for their diet. They might have to get used to it, right? Because they might not, you know, might not have it seen, but it's part of their diet and it's important to them. Now, keeping quail is important to keep clean food and water for them. So that's why we developed here it comes in a pack of 2, the feeders for the hatching time and Chimuka cage system. They can be also used in a brooder box if you have 2 of them next to each other, leaning against each other. Put a little zip tie around it. Holds 11 ounces of food. The old traditional feeders where the little baby chicks, you know, climb into and then poop into. I mean, yeah, they might be cheap, but they are not that clean. And so this one's nobody can crawl into it. Easy to keep clean. Feet comes down. It's a little DIY project. I left the filament in there for you guys, so you can just scrape that out with a screwdriver or press it in with your finger, get that out. It's a little project. It's rewarding because you're done in 2 minutes, and then your feeder is ready to use. We have printed down there a little zigzag line. It's hard to see on the camera, but that is there that you can control the flow of your feed. If you think it should flow a little quicker, you scrape it out. Otherwise, you just leave it in there. That's totally fine. The birds won't pick on that. I've been using them since I developed them, over 6 months. No bird got ever injured or stuck in there because they just can't get in there. And they're great for button quail as well. So that's the feeder we did. Now let's move on to Hazel's favorite part of the show. After I told you guys about our black and white edition quail eggs, and that doesn't mean that the eggs come in black and white. No, it means the resulting birds hatching from these quail eggs will either be black with a spot or white with a spot. And they're great birds. The white, they are jumbo size, they get pretty heavy. We define jumbo by the ACPA standard, which is 10 ounces after 10 weeks. But it really depends a lot on what you feed those quail, right? If they don't get the amount of protein they need, especially as little chicks when you start them off, then later as adult as well, then they won't gain weight. It's like with us people as well. If we don't have enough nutrition, we stay very slim. If we get good nutrition, we grow, right? And yeah, so that's what's happening with the quail as well. And for that reason, as extra protein, but also I noticed in my cage system, the cage is out of plastic, so there's nothing really hard to pack against with their beak, right? Because their beak might grow if they have nothing hard to, you know, pack against. It's similar like with your dog as well, right? They need a little clipping every once in a while, which is a lot of fun with Hazel. She does not like that. And those birds, we don't want to clip their peaks if we don't have to. So we want to provide them with something hard to pack against. Also keep them busy a little bit. Because in a cage, you know, well, we have to keep them in cages so we make sure that the eggs are fertile. Because we only ship eggs out from cage systems to you guys as hatching eggs. In the aviary, it's totally fine for fresh eggs, right? To keep them on the ground and they can run around, and then the eggs might be less fertile. And even Hazel comes now because she has a good nose too, right, Hazel? Getting excited when I show this one. Yeah, so we developed for our birds and now for your birds this quail game bird knödel. Can be used for chicken as well. But what is a knödel? I'm Austrian, so knödel means dumpling, and it looks a little bit like a dumpling to me. That's what a knödel is. Anyway, it's Oktoberfest time. You probably have seen those dumplings somewhere if you go to some kind of Oktoberfest, right? So what I did here is I used premium feed, and then from my mealworm farm, dehydrated mealworms, and they go in there and you can see them really well. And I worked that string in there. It's proper dried, and then it's pretty hard, like a rock. So that gives your quail the opportunity when you hang that into your cage with this little string here to play with something to work a bit for extra protein, right? The protein in the form of mealworms, in the form of the feed we use, keeps them busy, keeps their peak occupied as well, so it doesn't grow that fast out. And it's a great enhancement for any cage system you might have. I made it simple with a string. You tied it somewhere on the eye level of the birds, and then they can work it. It might later on, once they worked it really hard, break apart. If it's on the floor, that's fine, as long as it doesn't get too wet. You shouldn't hang it in the rain, because that would dissolve the ball. So if you have one of those little bird feeders for the wild birds out there, a little piece of mealworm came off. That happens. Then you can use that also for a wild bird feeder. Game birds are similar to the wild birds, right? As long as it doesn't get wet. If it gets wet, it could get moldy, like any feed, any grain, right? And that's what we don't want. What I really like, and that's why Hazel came early on, is the smell of them. These mealworms, they smell dehydrated. They smell like honey. The whole ball here, it's like, it's just, I should have them. I was thinking to hang one of them in my truck as an air freshener, seriously, because it smells so good. So, you know, quail poop a lot. If you have a little nice smell in there in your coop, why not? It's for you, right? They come in a pack of 2, nicely sealed, and yeah, great addition for your little birdies as well. Last but not least, in regards to food, nutrition, and now it's show season again. A lot of people show their birds in a 4-H or in competitions. And I just visited Gary from the Walker Supply Company, who makes Show Pro. And I was there in Alabama. I inspected his facilities. He showed me and gave me some inside knowledge on how he does stuff. And I was really just wowed. So shout out to Kerry. He just moved the production into a bigger facility because it's doing so well, the Show Pro. So this is a supplement. It's not there to fully replace the food of your quail, but it's a supplement with a tablespoon a day. That's for chickens, ducks, quail. It gives your bird extra nutrition, extra protein. It's 42% protein in there, and a great ingredient, Sustain, which was invented in Europe as well, I was told, which is a hair loss product. I haven't used that, but if you use that on your birds, they don't tend to lose feathers that easily either then. And it just makes them look great. So for real champions, don't forget your Show Pro. The actual pack we ship out is 5 times bigger than this one. It's 10 pounds. Here in the studio, I just like to lift only the 2 pounds. I don't want to end up like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know. So I do enough training in the lifting quail poop trays, cutting firewood for the winter, and all that good stuff. I mentioned it early on, and you have seen it. Hazel loves quail eggs, so your pet probably loves them too. So check out our whole quail eggs for the pets, and we discount them a little bit for the pets. They might be not the freshest like we ship out for the fresh eating eggs or for hatching eggs, so they might be a couple of days old, but still they have a long enough shelf life for your pets to enjoy, and that's why we want to give you them at a discounted price so your pets can enjoy those quail eggs as well. Now, before we get into the pet section, where I show you the lovely pet treats we make from quail, I go into our news section and show you guys what I was up to the last few weeks, what's happening here on the homestead, on the farm, and yeah, overall. So let's work our way backwards. So today I was setting here a couple of it's not updating now. Let me click a little picture. Here we go. So I was setting Georgia Giant quail eggs today. Let me show you that picture. You see that little one there with the yellow? Yeah. So that's what went into the incubator today. A real cool thing. The Georgia Giants actually are smaller birds. I don't know, sorry, not smaller birds, but smaller eggs. Hey Google, lights on. You just realized my timer went off in here. But we got some light again. Excusez-moi. C'est la vie. That happens in a live show. My motion sensor triggered the lights to switch off. Here we go. Okay, it's back. But that technical issue, I hopefully have that resolved in a second too. because what I want to show you guys is actually this lovely application here. Here we go. Ha! There are the Georgia Giants. So they are right now in the incubator already. That's why I don't have an egg of them here. I just got them from one of our partner farms because I want to raise some meat birds as well. People always ask for jumbo, 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 and often the Georgia giant quail gets actually ignored. But they have the biggest eggs, and you find those eggs in our store as well. So if you click on any product below, leads you to the Undique store, or if you watch it on our store page, then you see those lovely Georgia giant quail eggs as well. So don't get confused. I often get messages from customers saying, I ordered the Georgia giant quail, but you sent me these tiny eggs. That's just how they are. The eggs are smaller, a little smaller than the normal quail eggs. They are white only, and the resulting birds there, they actually get over a pound. So if you feed them right, and hunters like them too, if you want to, you know, release them back into the nature, into your hunting grounds, that's an option too, but you need to have the permits for that, so make sure you got that. So I went to Texas, right? That was my main destination. You saw that on the stream last week, helping Dixie and Joe with Buddy's hatchery to move their hatchery and do some building there and lots of other good stuff. And so I had the chance to, you know, see a few farmer markets around the country, and I was surprised. I was in the farmers market in Dallas while I was visiting a friend, and not a single quail egg on that farmers market. So come to us here on Amazon to get your fresh eggs. I had a good time there. So this is Buddy from Buddy's Hatchery. He's part of our network, and he's named, he's the name giver to the actual hatchery there. You see here the jumbo whites in the background. They have it nice. Some other lovely birdies. They are all kept in state-of-the-art and very clean environment. What I find interesting, they use hay for the poop trays there. It smells really nice in there and keeps moisture and everything under control. Really nice. So we were building cages, moving cages, cleaning cages, putting people into cages. That's Dixie. That's for the ducks and turkeys here, for the little fellas there. I was visiting also Jennifer from Brian's Roost. That's her foam room. You noticed in our store we have shipping foam as well. So here's, for example, an example of shipping foam for button quail eggs, because they're a little smaller. They come with these little noodles there. And so we got that in our store if you're thinking of shipping eggs yourself. So that was a good time. All very clean, very organized. I like that a lot. That's also where we got the shipping boxes from. And so check that out in our store. I met a lot of doggies. I can't tell that too loud, otherwise Hazel gets jealous. But that's Teddy here, from Jennifer, the doggie. I was instantly falling in love with him. I checked on my mealworms. The last time I checked, they were pretty active again, but you know, it's up and down a bit now going into the winter. So that's pretty much what happened recently. Here, another picture I have to show you. A little lonesome chicken next to the pond. I find it a cool picture. It's nice out there on the countryside, like here in New Jersey as well. Now, Hazel didn't have dinner yet, so let's get started on these dog treats. And let me tell you a little bit about them. Hazel, come here, my darling. She was missing that for the last 2 weeks. I hope you guys do. So, this is what we do with quail after they reach their end of life, right? Because we treat them well here on the farm. They have a happy life and one bad day, but after that, Hazel has a good time as chief treat tester. Oop, I'm clumsy today. Sorry, my dear. Hazel, sit. Sit. Yep, sit first. Thank you. Good paw. Good girl. Now you can have it. And nice and crunchy. Yeah, you want to clean that up? Super. That was not intended to let that drop, but you can see Hazel's portrait here, and so I wanted to feed my doggy really nutritious, good stuff. I know what's in there, and it comes in little pieces. The crunch bites. I see this one traveled a bit tough, so it crumbled a little. If it crumbles, use it as a food topper, just in case. But this one I was beating up badly. But it comes in little pieces, usually a little bigger than these ones. And those crunch bites, let's see if we hear another crunch here. Right, Hazel? So this is dehydrated premium quail meat, and we sprinkle in the eggshells. Farm eggs, I damaged, for example, but just the shells, and that gives it an extra nice crunch. And, right, Hazel, extra calcium for your skeleton. You're not growing anymore, but we want to have healthy bones and healthy teeth, so extra calcium is always a good idea. So the quail crunch bites with Hazel's portrait on it in our store right now. We sometimes do specials, so grab them while that's on. And it's a premium treat for training. Hazel loves it, and I'm happy that I'm back from my trip, so Hazel can have that lovely treats again. Before we get to another treat, we want to also mention something for little puppies and lovely cats out there. Those little tigers. If you want to, awaken the tiger. Yeah, Hazel. What did you do with the wings the other day? Mommy told me. Huh? What did you do with them, Hazel? What did you do with the wings? Come here. What did you do with them the other day? I know you ate a couple. Yep. She shouldn't, because there's barely any meat on it, but it's not harmful, and that was important for me when I developed this product. Actually, my daughter came up with the idea, and she said, Daddy, what do you do with those wings? And I'm like, nothing, because there's no meat on them. She said, can I have one to play with my cat? And I'm like, sure. So we dehydrate them ever since and put a natural string on it, and then you can play with your tiger. If you click on the product below, there is 2 videos actually. One is my daughter playing with her cat, and one is a customer who sent us that video. And yeah, you get the idea, right? The tiger. Okay. So, great product. If it gets wet, let it dry before you put it back into the package so it doesn't get moldy. You could dry it in the oven on the lowest temperature for a couple of minutes. And if the string comes loose, just tie it on again. But we try to do a good job tying those strings on for you. And if you happen to have a stick laying around in your backyard, put the other end of this stick here. Then you can play even nicer and more interactive with your little tiger at home. It's a natural instinct of cats, right? To, catch birds in the backyard. But if you have an indoor cat and you want to awaken their instincts again, then play with them a bit. Cats are, great companions as well. I'm more of a dog person, I have to admit, but play with them. And those wings, we sell them also in a pack of 1 or 2 for dog training, hunting dog training, bird dog training, right? You can use that too for a puppy. A great product we got here, all natural. If the worst case happens and your pup eats it, well, it will poop feathers the next day. Hazel just recently again sneaked up on a package we received and couldn't resist it, and had a little session with some of those wings. Punishment, I still have to think about it. Maybe we cancel a walk or something. I don't know. Now, I don't really want to punish my dog. I think she just followed her instinct and had a nice little snack session there. Speaking of snacks, Hazel wanna demonstrate this lovely treat. So we try to use everything of the birds because I think we own it, the bird. That their life had a meaning, that we don't just use one part, throw everything else out. So the spine of the bird is a great treat too. The good news is those bones of the quail, they do not splinter like chicken bones would do. Hazel, can you come here and show the crunch sticks? Yeah, be so kind. Please come here. Yeah, thank you, darling. Whoopsie. Here we are. Okay, you need to go a little back because otherwise we just see your belly. Did you gain weight a bit while I was gone? Yeah, when you always eat those wings, huh? So the crunch stick is the spine of the quail. As you can see, Hazel is very interested. I would break it in 2 pieces. The pack comes a pack of 10. Hazel, oh, yeah, good girl. And do you hear that crunch? Oh yeah. And I think that's the reason why the vet always tells us that her teeth are so great, because it's a bit of a cleaning, right? Yeah, of course we always have water nearby when we feed that good stuff. She gets the other half as well. Give me the other paw. No, other paw. This paw. Good girl. Isn't that yummy? If that's not a premium training treat, then I don't know what it is. But Hazel is so happy. Let's take a look here. What? All gone? All gone, Boo Boo? Yeah? Okay. It's really healthy. Not much fat on it. And yeah, comes in a resealable bag. We had 10 pieces. So that's from 10 birds. And it's a great premium treat. It's only dehydrated and then freshly packaged for you guys, so it stays fresh. And straight, in this case, we straight from Amazon to you guys. And it's an awesome addition to your pet's diet, because that's what they would eat in nature as well. Now, if I drop too many eggs, or if we have eggs in the summer we don't ship out, or if eggs are not viable for shipping them as hatching eggs, all those good reasons, that goes in here. An entire dozen of quail eggs goes into our little shaker here, the Quailicious Boost as we call it. So all the vitamins, minerals get preserved for your pet as a food topper. I'm getting hungry just talking about it, and Hazel is giving me the look. Don't talk as much. Give me. Okay, let's give you. So here we go. We have 2 openings here. The little one as a little sprinkle on top of their food, and the more generous one, or as I like to do, the real generous one. Come, Hazel. Yes, there you go. It's like the Parmesan on your spaghetti. It's an extra nutritional value. And for lack of having her food bowl here right now, I just used my hand, and that's okay. Hazel loves it. I think I've shown it to you guys in some of our older videos when we went to North Carolina camping. I like to bring that around. Then I don't have raw eggs in the heat or something, or breaking in the camping if I go a little bit too sharp around the corner. So that stuff is great, lasts you quite a while. It's good for cats, dogs, ferrets, any carnivore animal who likes a little extra on their normal food. That's what you do with our little shaker here, the Quailicious Boost. And I think we bring really good value with that to you, considering there's an entire dozen of eggs in there. Now, we do a lot of cooperations here at Undique with other farms in our network, and the last treat I want to show you guys is also proof that we can do bigger birds like ducks, and this is the freeze-dried duck hearts. That's in cooperation with Eric and Nicole out of New York State, and they preserve the freshness of the ducks, and they want to use every part of the birds as well into these lovely treats. It's 4 ounces, so there's quite a number of hearts in there. Comes in a nice package. I like that package. There's usually a label on it, of course, but you get the idea. And that's the heart of a duck. It's, I would say, at least 6 times bigger than a quail heart. That's why a duck heart. And when Hazel looks at it, she gets this look. Yummy. Let's have a look at Hazel. Yeah, Hazel, can you stop moving my mouse? Huh? Yeah, excuse me. I have to move the mouse to Hazel cam. Yeah, you get it. Turn around and sit and paw. Good girl. Yes. Isn't that good? Well, you saw it. Hazel demanded it. What a premium treat that is. Obviously, yeah, everything of course in moderation, right? But as you could tell, Hazel really loves it and she's looking for more. You're looking for more? Okay, then sit. We show the people again your favorite product, okay? But you have to sit a bit further back, honey. Go back, turn around, yeah, and here, sit. Good girl, on your spot, okay? So, let's show those lovely watchers, the people at home. Excuse me. Can you go to your position again? Hazel, sit. Can you stay there for a second? I just was up to moderate it on again. Then we have your lovely Quail Crunch bites, right? Hazel, can you wait for a second? 1 second. Excuse me. Sit. You little doodle. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. Let's find a few bigger pieces. Here we go. There you go. And a few crumbles. You act like you haven't eaten in forever. She already had half of her dinner. But she loves that stuff, and it has been 2 weeks since we were last live here together. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the lovely good stuff what we have here for Hazel and for your pets. We love doing what we do, bringing fresh products right to you from our farms here in the US to your doorstep, right? So I hope you enjoyed the news for this week. I don't have much more to report because I was driving thousands of miles. I've met a ton of awesome people in our network, but also other great people all over the place. So it was a really, really great experience to see how well the birds are kept everywhere, you know, from Tennessee to Texas, all over the place. I went this time, and yeah, it makes me proud to be, you know, part or founder of that network. What we do here, every order supports a small family farm here in the US. All the others have a better accent than I do, but hey, that's life. I was made somewhere else, but everything else you saw today was made or laid in the US. So thank you guys for watching. I wish you a great rest of the week. Yeah, check out things in our store if you look for something special for the weekend, or if you want to get into quail. If you have any questions, get in touch with me. There is a few different options. I'm happy to, you know, personally answer any questions you might have about our products. And with that, I conclude today the live stream. I hope, yeah, you're gonna have a good rest of your evening as well. I hope the weather where you're at is not as bad as here in New Jersey. And yeah, see you next week, Monday, 7 p.m. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.